Hello, it's Heather from Mama's Midlife Mess. I have a few minutes to walk and talk. The first thing I want to talk about is the children's phone use. My adult children's phone use is a little out of hand. And it reminds me of a time where all 5 of my girls said they were neglected. And it's because I wanted to read the books of the Harry Potter series before I watched the movies with them. And they said they were neglected, like the whole week. It took me a week to read the books. They still had their meals. We still did their homework. All the things that Mom does. But I took a week for myself where I sat and did what I wanted to do. And they call it neglect, and even in their late 20s and 30s, they are still talking about the week that they were neglected. And it makes me laugh so much because they certainly were not. But the other day, my daughter that lives with me for a short time while she's saving up had her cell phone. And her 2-year-old daughter was dancing and having fun in the living room. And I have to give my daughter some grace because she works with the public. And working with the public is tough. They don't treat you nice. You don't make any money. And that's how she spends every 6 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon, is kind of feeling like she's a little punished for going to work at all because she's not treated nicely just for showing up to work. So I'm going to give her a lot of grace. Maybe she had a time with a coworker or a time with a customer, but she sat down and just started that 6 to 10 second scrolling and hearting and scrolling and hearting and scrolling and scrolling every 10 seconds, visually seeing something new, and she was totally checked out. So her little girl was dancing, and she said, "Mom, Mom, Mom," a few times. And her mom just didn't hear. And I bet she feels fine and secure to do that because I'm home. I was home that day, and she knows there's somebody around, and she can just take the breather that she must have needed. And that's fine because it's quite rare. So if this were every day, I'd be having a whole nother conversation with her. And I'm that mom that will do that. We're going to talk about it. You may not like my opinion, but I can't worry about that. I am worried about how my adults grow and become good adults. So I think I've done an okay job. But the cell phone stuff, it's ironic because I'm recording this on a cell phone while I take a little walk before I go to work. But we have to be so careful with it. We really, really have to be careful with it. Because I listen to YouTube all day long. I am a true crime fanatic, really. I watch court or listen to it all day. I should say, more importantly, I have headphones that don't even go in my ears. They're jawbone, bone conduction headphones. And I'll listen to court all day. I listen to court while I'm at work. But if I'm doing something with someone, especially with baby, I'm going to be tuned into that. And I'm going to be tuned in hard because everything a 2-year-old does is the most amazing thing they've ever done in their whole life. And I know that my daughter knows that. I give her plenty of grace. All my children. I know that they have a hard time. And I don't blame them for having a hard time. I just wish the phones weren't so much of a thing. It's hard to have a balance with this because you want to check out, and boy, isn't social media the easiest way to check out. I think I like YouTube because I'm on here to learn as much as I am to participate with people of my own age and engage with people that I wouldn't normally engage with, and to watch court when I get to watch court, no matter what time of day or night it is. I'll listen to it all day, but it's stop and go. And nothing gets tuned out. I make sure nothing gets tuned out. I don't even close my ears off with the bone conduction headphones. I can hear everything. And if baby wants to go do something, then we go do something. And like I said, this isn't against my daughter. That was one isolated thing, one isolated time. But I wonder how often this happens to people, young people, because of all the things in the world, because it's just easier to tune everything out than deal with what it is. Since they were so profoundly upset and still are in their 20s and 30s about me reading books for 1 week prior to watching movies with them all, I think the effect may not be good. It's every day, since social media is all the time, every day, and social media is just a gain to grab our attention. I'm worried about our baby generation. I have grandkids between 11 and 2 years old. And I have 10 grandkids that are between 11 and 2. And majorly, my adult children are out doing things with their babies. I see a lot of people that are not. And I'm worried for their babies. I hope they get outdoors. I hope they take a walk. I hope they go fishing. I hope they go play in some waterway, blow some bubbles, mark on the sidewalk with some chalk, have a good time. I don't want my grandkids ever feeling like they weren't seen or heard. And I'm not saying in some outrageous and crazy way, but just that we're always guarded against too much, because too much of anything is not good news. And the whole reason I'm walking today, because I'm trying to lose weight, because too much of everything is not good news. And I have a big party coming up, which I'll talk to you about pretty soon. And I don't want to look horrible or feel horrible for that awesome event. And it's a celebration of one of my other daughters that has just accomplished a big thing. And some people may not think, wow, because it's a graduation, but it is wow to her. And it is wow to me, because she's going into a very hardworking, heavy lifting, male dominated, and not the kindest males, male dominated field. And she is graduating her apprenticeship for sheet metal. And that is a tough job. And my little girl just spent 4 years getting into the union, working the hours, learning everything she could, plugging away, and I cannot be more proud. I just cannot be more proud. And I'm going to celebrate her for that. I'm going to celebrate all my kids for everything that they do. My mom gets to be there, even though she's in bad health. She's not in the worst health. We got good news for her, and I'll share that with you soon too. But I'm excited about this graduation, and I can't wait to share all the stuff we're going to do. It's going to be super fun. But this phone stuff, whew, let's be careful, because I could consume all day. I'm no better. I'm no different. This is not a bash on people that are consuming like that. I do the same thing. I do it a little bit differently, and I do it at different times, and I guess that's the checks and balances. You know, when I don't see where any of us just live without it anymore, but we need checks and balances. So I'm going to keep my checks and balances on. I'm going to have a talk with my daughter if this gets more frequent. I'm very sure it won't, because it was isolated. It's not frequent, and I'm going to talk to her about it if it ever becomes frequent. Her baby, my grandkids, our children in the world deserve us present. They didn't ask to be here. And I want to make sure that they know that they're loved. Everybody I can reach with that. Make sure your babies know that they're loved, that you're engaged. And it's tough to be engaged in a world like we live in right now. But I hope that we do. And it's mushroom season. So I'm going to engage in that for a little while. My big trip with my other daughter's coming up. I'm excited. It's my one thing I do with her every year. I'll have to look that up and see if they're safe to eat. But we are going to be searching for miraculous. We go every year, just one day a year, and this is part of my active engagement with my children. I can be on social media, but I do need to be actively engaged. When I'm gone, they're not going to remember anything about what I say on social media or what I watch that day. Nobody's going to care. What they will remember and tell a story about is the week that I read books and didn't do as much with them all personally. The week that I checked out, because it was so traumatizing. And they're going to remember all the things that we do with them. My children are going to remember all the things that I did with them. And I don't plan on going anywhere, but every day is not promised. And with my mom having cancer, I realize that all the time. And this is another check-in for that. So please be careful with our social media and our babies. I hear a lot about people not being or not feeling like they're valued. And we all are. I think we just need to tune out for a minute and check in. There's always time for media later. This is Heather from Mama's Midlife Mess. It's time for me to go to work. So I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.